Well, we've made it all the way to the fourth Sunday in the season of Lent. And the fourth Sunday in this season has traditionally been called Refreshment Sunday or Mothering Sunday. And in traditions where Lent is much more penitential and dreary and heavy, having a Sunday in the middle of the season where you can kind of relax a little bit, be a little less strict with your penitence and so forth, has long been a tradition of the church. And so these ideas of refreshment or mothering, to kind of take a break from early Lent and then beyond that as we get into Holy Week. Here at St. John's this season, we're of course really emphasizing the themes that are there in Lent anyway. Refreshment is all through the season, and the ideas of rebirth and renewal. So we're sort of having a whole refreshment season. And yet we will sort of lighten up even a bit more this coming Sunday. There's an old-fashioned term for a piece of music that is kind of old-fashioned, sort of comfort food. And that's to call it a chestnut. An old chestnut would be an anthem or an organ piece that, like I say, is just sort of a nice heaping of mashed potatoes, something warm and tasty, maybe not the most nutritionally effective, but something that tastes really good. And so for our Refreshment Sunday, we have several chestnuts that we will be enjoying throughout the course of the service. We will be singing Lift High the Cross at the end of the service. We'll be singing the first song of Isaiah at the sequence, so some congregational chestnuts for us. And then also the choir will be singing some really beloved anthems. At the offertory, they'll be singing the words of John 3:16, which is the gospel reading for this coming Sunday. And so they'll be singing God So Loved the World with this late Victorian setting by John Stainer. And at the communion, we'll be going backwards in time to an early Victorian piece by Samuel Sebastian Wesley. This is the grandson of Charles Wesley and grandnephew of John Wesley, those founders of the Methodist Church. And this is Samuel S. Wesley's setting of a very short passage from Psalm 51. Si iniquitates observaveris. If you, O Lord, were to see what we have done amiss, who of us could stand? And yet, in pure early Victorian fashion, this doesn't seem all that stern. It doesn't seem like a ruler rap across the knuckles. It seems actually a little bit more comforting with the implicit idea that God's mercy is always upon us. You can hear those first chords where Wesley is really punctuating that first word, see, if, Lord, you were to observe us, with that lift. And again. And that's for men's voices only, and so that'll be at communion. And then we'll be beginning the service with maybe not quite a chestnut, but still a very comforting tune, As the Winter Days Grow Longer. We sang this text a couple of weeks ago, and it has some really beautiful imagery of springtime and how Lent is a time for the renewal of the earth and how that awakens new life in us. So we have some really great music. We have the bishop will be with us. He will be both celebrating and preaching on Sunday. So we hope that you will come and worship with us either online, on cable television, or here downtown.